So in this video I'm going to teach you, if you're like absolutely new Blender and don't know how to do anything, what to do in like the very basics of Blender, and we will make a snowman at the end of this video. So as soon as you launch up Blender, you're going to be greeted with this screen. You want to hit General, and that brings up your first scene. If you go over to Render Image, this is the scene that everyone gets. This is how you start off every single Blender project. So what we are going to do is we're going to select the cube, hit X, delete. You can also right click it and then delete it like that. And then we're going to hit add mesh UV sphere. Okay. To move, you want to hold down your middle mouse button, and this kind of rotates you around. Then if you hold shift while holding down middle mouse button, this pans you around, or like moves you around without rotating you, so you're moving in lines instead of circles. Right, that is how I'm going to be moving around this video, and how you move around in Blender. So we want to make a snowman. So first thing you want to do is we added a UV sphere, so we want to right click it and shade smooth. If I hit Control Z real quick, you can see it used to have all these little squares that it was made out of, but when we shade it smooth, they disappear. Okay? And then we want to go to Add Mesh UV sphere, and then this little cursor is our origin. So not our origin, like the place where all of our new meshes spawn and get created. So as you can see, we have sphere and sphere 0.001. I'm just going to change this by double clicking it to middle, because it is going to be the middle of our snowman. And then to scale an object down and make it bigger or smaller, we're going to hit S, and we're just going to bring that in a bit. And then G for grab, as you can see, like it just moves it around. Then you right click to undo all that moving. Then we're going to hit GZ to move it only along the Z axis. Just place it right there. Then I want to make it a little bit bigger. Let me click it, right click, shade smooth. Then we're going to do the same thing for the head. So we select this middle one, Shift D for duplicate, GZ. We bring it up, S to scale it down. We scale it down, and then a little bit lower. And there. That is our snowman so far. If we go over here and you go into rendered view, this is what the camera will see. If we just go into like colored view, like this is the actual colors of all the snowman, or what the material color is. Then we have wireframe view, which we won't be going into. This is very helpful if you're like moving many objects in the scene. Then we have solid view, which is what we will be using today. So you have this, like the basics, but we want eyes and nose. So we want to hit Shift D to duplicate it, S, and bring it down real tiny. Actually a little bit bigger, and that's going to be the eye. So we hit G, and we could just place it and guess, like, that's about where the eye is. But I don't want to do that. I want it much more precise, so I just Control Z that. Now G, Z to move it up a tiny bit, G, X to move it to the left, then G, Y to bring it forward just a slight bit out of its head. Oh, turns out it's fully out of its head. That's okay, we can just bring it back. That was a bit too far back. Right there. Then we got one little eye. We'll make that a little bit bigger. Then we hit Shift D, G, X. Just bring that over to the other side. Now we have two eyes, so we're going to hit this, go down to the material settings, and change this. Nope, leave it at white. Just make it a nice dark black. Then this one, we want to hit new, base color, also bring that to a black. And if we do the same thing with all of these, we can see that they're already white. If you want to make it like the snow a different color, you just scroll around on the color wheel. But for me, I think I am just going to keep it white. So yep, now if we go into a rendered view over here, we can see we have a white snowman with some black eyes. So now we got to add the nose. And to add the nose, we're going to go to Add, Mesh, Cone, S to scale that down a little bit, SZ to make it a bit longer. Then we're going to hit GZ. Actually, that might be a bit too long, so SZ, make it a bit shorter, S. There, that looks like a good size. So now we have it just sticking out the top of his head. It's not really a nose. So we hit R for rotate, then X, then we type in 90, and that makes it point forward because we rotated it along the Z axis 90 degrees, not Z, X axis 90 degrees. We hit GZ, bring it down, GY, bring it forward to how much you would like. We're going to right click it, shade smooth, and under materials, we're going to hit new, base color, and bring this to orange, whatever orange. You can really make it any color. I'm just making it orange because it's kind of supposed to be a carrot. Yep. And now if we go to render image, our camera sees most of the snowman, but like it doesn't really look that good, so we're going to fix that with lighting and how to move the camera. So this is our camera. To see what it sees, we hit number pad 0, and that's what it sees. I don't like that view, so I'm going to bring it straight on. To do this, we're going to go into it. You can also click this, hit N to transform it, go to view, camera to view, then we move it like we would any other thing, and that is how I'm going to center my thing. As you can see, now it's looking straight on the snowman, so we can really get that full color. Now I'm going to hit 0 to get out of camera view, and N to hide that drop down menu. Now this is our light right now. It's a sunlight. Snowman doesn't need a sunlight, so we're just going to delete that. We're going to go to add light spot, and as you can see, it's like a spotlight down there. So GZ, GY, R, actually hit RX to only rotate it along the Z axis. Make sure it's nice and centered on that snowman, and we're going to bring the power up to 500. That will just like really illuminate it and make it look nice. So now if we go to render image, it still looks a bit dull, so we gotta bring the power up to, let's say, 3000. Render the image, and there, that looks pretty good, I think. You can always change it, or maybe bring the camera up a little higher. You can make it brighter by just changing this, like let's say to 10,000. Render image. As you can see, it's now like super white, and you can really see the colors. Or if you want to manipulate it in any way, like you just hit S, and like if you just want to make it a ball, that's how you would do it. But nope, this is snowman. And now to save the file, we go to File, Save As. I'm just going to name this Blender Snowman. Blender Snowman. Make sure it stays .blend, otherwise Blender won't know how to read it. Hit Save As. Now if we go to render image, it doesn't actually save this image, it only saves the file. So we want to go image, save as. I'm just going to name this snowman.png. That's the default way you make snowman. I mean, not snowman. The default way it saves images is a PNG file. It is much smaller than a .jpeg. And then, yeah, there you go. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. And as always, have a great day.